All right. Oh, there we go. Hey, everyone. Alec here. All right. Let's see. I am, Crystal and I are celebrating her birthday and Valentine's Day, kind of. Her birthday was yesterday. And so we have a little break, like a 2 day break from all the critters at home. Not that we need it, but anyway, we came to Midtown. Midtown Atlanta. There's a hotel she really wanted to stay at called and I'm not even going to say what it is because the haters are going to just start stalking us. But anyway, that's Midtown out there, and and of course, she usually works Friday Saturdays, but she's working tonight, and she's sick, of course. She couldn't get someone to replace her, but she's off tomorrow night, so we're gonna have we don't check out till Sunday, so we're gonna have a really nice weekend. But anyway, really excited to be here. Oh my God, it's been just a crazy couple weeks in the post production world, and crazy in a like we're working our asses off. I'm probably cheating by saying we. I mean, Dana is working his butt off, but a lot of good stuff has been happening, and the update video you get to see a couple different things, but I can tell you narration is now in. Music has begun. Mark has the new edits up that include some of the music, um, and we'll, after we watch the video together, and then we will then we'll talk more about it. And I wish they changed. They keep changing Streamyard, and I'm trying to get used to it. Now the screen's like really small. I don't get to see a big screen. Let's see. Is this? No, that's not it. So anyway, questions, comments. Yeah, go hit me. I'll start reading. Um, well, thank you, Chris. Yeah, thank you. Well, it's kind of amazing that we're finally going to release this summer, and we're pushing real hard for San Diego Comic Con, Star Trek Las Vegas, Dragon Con. Um, uh, so here's my light source over here. So I'm going to move my light source. Actually, let me move. I'm going to move. Here. That's a little better. That's a little better. A little better. I've got this orb. You got to see this light. Can you? It looks like Sargon. Right? Doesn't it? Um, uh, Thank you. It's crazy. It's been 11 years, but it's like now it's like this great story. We're working on the documentary. We're working on an oral history of Axanar. I just published part 3. Go to our Substack, Axanar Origins, it's called. It's kind of me recounting in a Substack blog style all the history of Axanar. And yeah, and so you'll see in the update, one of the things I talk about is that Sofia Coppola said her father told her once, "Your movie is never as good as the dailies make it look, nor as bad as the rough edit makes it look." So I'm taking that to heart. I actually think our rough edit, it's the type of thing where, because there's no green screen compositing, because there's no, the finished visual effects are starting to get dropped in now, but mostly it's previs, right? And so it's the type of, you have to be used to seeing a rough cut, right? Because what you don't want is to think, oh God, it looks like shit. Look, there's no great. You have to assume all this stuff is going to happen. So yeah, the green screen, you see an actor on a green screen, you have to assume there's going to be an interesting visual, or you assume, you just have to make those projections. And because of that, it's almost like, in a way, you are mentally squinting at the screen, right? To make it look better. But I get it. So anyway, Mach 214 from Oklahoma. Hey, Oklahoma. I don't want to start that. Eric Melson, Happy New Year to you too. Scott Tyner, hey to you. Chris White, how are you? Wayne's World of Science and Technology. And Wade Dos Santos, I think you've been on before, Wade, haven't you? That sounds familiar. Thank you. Yes, well, thank you, Tenma. What a name, Tenma Satome. So is that what is that? What kind of name is that? That's a fascinating name. And but anyway, so I was at Dana's house today. We were doing some more work. We just added another So there's a lot of hardware work, hardware that needs to do a lot of the work, rendering work, right? So we have Larry from OWC Computing. If you don't know OWC Computing, they make all the best hard drives for Mac computers, and they sell Apple computers, and they're one of the biggest in the world. Larry, the CEO and founder, is one of our donors and been with us forever. Tenma. Okay, well, one of our executive producers is in Tokyo, Tenma. Goodness. So yeah, well, welcome. Where in Japan are you, or are you in Japan? Maybe you're not. Maybe your name is just Japanese. Let us know. But so we have right now we have 2 Mac studios, and one is just dedicated to rendering, but we're about to get a third, which will just be a rendering machine as well. Dana, this weekend is by the end of this weekend, we'll be finished with all the backgrounds for Daedalus, our short film. And excuse me, yeah, it's not a live stream unless I yawn. Rimaku, I don't know where that is. So I love Japan. Love it because back in the 90s, I was going all the time, either when I was coaching with the USA women's volleyball team, or then I was a sports agent, and I represented Lloyd Ball, who was the captain of the USA volleyball team. And one of my previous lives, I was a sports agent for volleyball players, and I got the first male American volleyball player in the Japanese Pro Leagues. Lloyd played for Torre, which is in Mishima, if I remember correctly. So I traveled there, and it was wonderful. Just love it. I love Japan. It's so different. So yeah, it's wonderful. And of course, I grew up doing judo, so I'm all about the martial arts. As our executive producers are too. Well, thank you, Wade. It's good to have you here. And so, okay, great. That's nice. I love Tokyo. Tokyo is one of the great cities in the world. I mean, you can list the half dozen greatest cities in the world, and Tokyo is one of them. London, Paris, New York, Tokyo for sure. Those are 4 that I put right there. Maybe Berlin. Maybe I like Berlin. It's a great city. Anyway, love Tokyo, and of course, I'm a huge fan of sushi. So it's second to none in Japan. So anyway, so that's on the hardware for rendering hardware, and then it's also a lot of storage space. So Mark has a RAID array. A RAID array is when you have this enclosure with, in this case, 4 different hard drives, and they're redundant. So if one fails, you can rebuild it, and you don't lose any data. We have 2 of them right now. We have a 72 terabyte. We have a 64 terabyte. Excuse me. And we have a 32 terabyte. So we moved everything that I need onto the smallest one because I don't need a big array. Dana has one that has all the chutes on it, and then Mark has one that has all the chutes on it. And what Dana's doing, Dana's always referencing that drive. He doesn't write to it, but he pulls from it, and doesn't actually pull for it. He just will pull stuff into his program. So he's really not he doesn't add or delete anything that drive, but that's a lot of data. I mean, it's crazy. Hey, Paul, thank you. I will send Crystal your regards. Yeah, she was sick yesterday. And she had to work, so it was not a great birthday for her. So that's what this weekend's all about is having her. So anyway, she is working tonight, and I'm going to pick her up at 2:30. She's an assistant manager at a nightclub, and hopefully she's making a career change. We're real excited about that. And there's Jeff Scott from New Zealand. Hey, Jeff, how are you doing, sir? Jeff keeps checking in and make sure our current president hasn't blown up this continent. And so, believe me, part of what we're doing is I'm taking all the behind the scenes stuff and I'm going to start cutting up and making videos. Now that I'm editing again. Yeah. So, and we got to get, what we have to do is, let me pull up. Uh-oh. All right. Okay, what I'm going to do here is oh fuck. Excuse my language. Oh gosh. This is why I need to use Google Chrome. All right. Well, I guess we're going to have to watch. We're all going to have to watch the update ourselves. I can't bring it into StreamYard right now because I am not on Chrome and Chrome is not responding to me. It's being a very bad Chrome. All right, we're going to have to watch the. I'm sorry for the technical problems, people, but you'll have to watch the update, which I guess that off the. You have to watch. We're going to have to watch the update on a separate screen because I cannot import it into StreamYard today. For whatever reason, it's locking. Hold on, let me send Chris a message. Can you please send me the username and password for the StreamYard? Google Chrome is kicking me out. All right, let's see he replies. But meanwhile, let me read your messages. Yeah, we will be working on that. Believe me, we're going to be doing the whole world tour if it's up to us. So there you go. Stephen Ross, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, Chief O'Brien would have it working. That's exactly it. Hey, Val's here. Uh, oh well, he tell me about it later offline. I hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, that is the truth. That's the truth. Um, let's see how we're doing. Okay, so make sure you have a separate screen, everyone. Um, open to our March update, which is premiering any 10 seconds. So there you go. All right, I'm going to turn the sound on and turn my sound off on part. Okay. Have a separate screen open. All right, there you go. There you go. All right, so we're back. So there you go. That's kind of it. You hopefully get a little glimpse of what's happening behind the scenes and realize we're working our butts off to get this done. I cannot tell you. Here's the two awesome things, and one led to the other. One is, remember Dave Lanyon came in 2 years ago and committed to finishing Axanar, like giving us whatever money we needed, so I didn't have to go out and ask for donations. So Dave and then his business partner Goodney have funded everything, studio, Axanar, everything. So, which has been awesome. It just changed our lives. I literally changed our lives, and it allowed us to finish the shoots. And once Dave came in, we knocked out like 3 shoots, and we now are finished 20 actors in the can, and that's huge. That is really, that's just enormous. It's so nice to know that we don't have to shoot anything. We have all the actors. Everyone said yes. Well, not everyone. A couple actors said no. We got other actors who, it's always, and that's a situation. I will say, having the actors in the can is amazing. So that's it. Dave and Goodney coming in as executive producers, meaning the money, and which allowed us to do all the shoots. Now we're in post-production, and so we're in really great shape, and we're really excited. Dana's working his ass off. Mark's doing a great job. Hard VFX team are doing a great job, so it's going great. So there you go. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, listen, we're rough. That's just rough stuff that we're showing, right? It's not. It's we haven't decided on the final version of that, and we're not sure that we're going to use this different ship insignias. Just we're working it through it. So, but that's a good question. Thank you, Phyllis. It's good to see you again too. So there you go. So that's kind of what's happening, and which is really good. I mean, I listen. It's all good. It's we have one thing. There's one thing left. I need someone to do some rotoscoping on beauty makeup. That's the one thing that I just told Dana this week I'd take it off his plate. So I got to find someone to do that. A couple of guys local here in Atlanta we're looking for. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with you there. Suresh says, I haven't fully kept up with things since the whole CBS drama. Wow, that was a long time ago. And when a number of the actors no longer be with us, is still planned to be a full film or cut down. After the lawsuit, we settled with CBS, and what we agreed to was to do 2 15-minute episodes. So that's what you got. So it's kind of like a trilogy. Prelude's the first, and the next 2 are The Gathering Storm and Crucible, or make a trilogy. So there you go. So yeah. Fortunately, Gary Graham, who is no longer with us, we got his scenes before he passed. And Richard, who's no longer with us, will be in these 2 episodes. We have footage of him for these 2 episodes. So there you go. So hopefully that answers it. Yes, we can't either, Val. Believe me, I cannot wait to get this out. There's Olive Drab. How are you? It's Skydance, not Sundance. Sundance is the film festival in Colorado, but understandable. I don't know if they're going to have new rules, but my guess, just a guess, is they're going to have a new attitude towards fans. They're not going to be, absolute dicks to us the way the current regime is. And because it doesn't make any sense. One of their big things is they're trying to understand how do we work better, engage better with fans. That's what I'm hearing third and fourth hand about this, and so I'm kind I'm extrapolating. Here's one thing. The CBS and their lawyers, have had a bug up their ass ever since, before this lawsuit, which made no sense to anyone. I have not met one person in Hollywood in all this time, and I was out there for a couple of years doing Axanar, and we moved here in 2017. I have not met one person in Hollywood, not one actor, not one producer, not one crew member of any sort of anything. No one has ever taken the side of CBS and said, yeah, they did things the right way. Everyone thinks they were idiots for what they did. Everybody. Of course, there's the haters, but the haters are just irrational. But you talk to professionals in Hollywood, no one thinks they made the right call. They all say, why didn't they work with you? Why didn't they figure out, why were they suing their fans? Right? Even J.J. Abrams and Justin Lin said, why are you suing your fans? Right? No one thought it was a good move, and it was just and I don't know if it was Les Moonves, the former CEO, or who were the idiots that made the decision to sue us. And I hope those people are no longer there. I can tell you one of the big lawyers who've been an asshole to us is no longer at CBS. So good riddance to him. So there you go. No, I think Skydance is going to be more positive towards fans. It's excuse me. It's really important for Skydance to have a good relationship with fans. They're seeing what's wrong with Kurtzman and they're trying to correct it. So I think different attitude. Yes, we know about that. Yes, exactly. We love those guys. I haven't talked to them in a while, but they did great work. Thank you. Thank you, Suresh. Yeah. There's a video on YouTube where they named the top 10 ships in all of Star Trek, and the Ares was one of the top 10, which was huge. I mean, that's very heartwarming for us to hear. So we're real excited about that. So there you go. I mean, that's kind of it. That's kind of what's been happening. I mean, listen, if you know Dana or if you're friends on Facebook, send him your love. Give him an old pat on the back and tell him he's doing a great job, because he is doing great work. I love going over to Dana's and seeing what he's done. He's such a perfectionist. And if there's anything wrong, I mean, like stuff you don't see, he's like, no, I fixed this. This was driving me crazy. And I go, what? And he goes, this here. And I go, okay, I never would have noticed that. But he fixes it. He's a perfectionist. Well, you said that. I didn't. Let's see. Yeah, thanks, Phyllis. Yeah, believe me, I take very good care of my health these days. Very good care of my health. I mean, listen, this is the big 6'5" this year for me. Yeah, I'm going to be 65. I know I believe me, it's hard for me to believe. But yeah, so I have made some real serious changes in my life. Not that I was unhealthy before, but there's my father passed away this past year at the age of 89 for a guy born in like 36 or whenever he was born, 36 I think it was. So this guy smoked most of his life, drank all of his life, was always overweight, didn't have the best diet, and he lived to be 89. Now in the last couple of years he wasn't in the best shape, but still, it makes you go, gosh, well, if I'm going to live to be 100, I better be in good shape those last 10 years, right? So yeah, so I have a new workout regime. I make sure I get at least 150 grams of protein every day. Really change my diet for the better, monitor my blood sugar. So I'm going to try and not keel over before this summer, because that would be very disappointing. Besides, I don't want to give the haters the satisfaction of me dying. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Yeah, listen, the last year of my father's life, when after my mom passed, was tough on him. But Crystal and I spent a lot of time with him. We would drive down about every 2 weeks. We drove down to Florida and spent the weekend. And it was really wonderful, because meant so much to him. And I encourage you all to, if your parents are still with you, to spend as much time as you can with them. So I know that for my father, it meant so much, and he loved Crystal, loved her to that. I called her the daughter he never had, and actually gave Crystal. He gave Crystal all of my mother's pearls. My mother has some wonderful jewelry, so he gave that all to Crystal, which was really nice. And so yeah, so that he would light up whenever. Listen, anytime I came down to see him, because he didn't have a great relationship with my brother. Anytime I would come down to see him, he was so happy. But when Crystal came with me, yeah, that lit up. They'd sit and talk for an hour or two before Dad got tired and kicked us out. So anyway, I'm sorry to go on about that, but listen, cherish the relationship with your parents. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Listen, you cannot live your life in fear, but that doesn't mean you don't do all the right things to take care of yourself, right? So that's the way it is. Thanks, Tim. My father, he passed away last year, but again, it was the end of his life was great. Because we had such a big impact. So there you go. Tim from New Zealand. Hey, make sure you watch. I am well, thank you, Tim. Make sure you watch the update video, because it's pretty damn good. Things are going really well, right? Things are going very well. Yeah, listen. I'm excited. And I'm enjoying work. I'm enjoying watching Dana do his magic, which he does, and he's doing some just spectacular work. I mean, in that update video, you see an image of Richard. It's just an image. It's not. I wish I could show you the first complete composite that Dana did. Because it was great. It was great. And we're very excited about it. And I can't show it to you because we can't share the actor with you yet. There's 2 actors who will be revealed when it premieres. And hopefully it has the same effect that people have when they saw Saval. When they saw Gary Graham as Saval, they were like, oh shit, that's Gary Graham. I mean, let's face it. We had 6 actors in Prelude, 5 real actors plus me. And every one of those actors was amazing, right? I always say I didn't embarrass myself. I kind of feel like I hit the Mendoza line. Those actors were all amazing. But Gary, Gary is so amazing. It's hard to, you can't really say there was any one actor that was better than anyone else, because everyone was different, right? And they had great roles. I mean, Richard was the best Klingon ever in my book. Tony Todd had that booming voice, and his presence was amazing. J.G. Hertzler plays Travis perfectly. He's so spot on. And Kate was just awesome as Sonia, right? I just loved her. I wrote that character for her. But Gary Graham, being that he's playing Saval, he ties Axanar back to Enterprise, right? So he grounds it in the Star Trek universe. It makes it so much more real. And in a way, he's kind of the Star Trek beating heart of Axanar. And plus, he has my favorite line of all, which is, don't push the pink skins to the thin ice. He was so good. So, yeah, in Prelude, here we are 11 years later. It still holds up. It's as good as it was the day it came out. And that's because we made timeless Star Trek. You know, I think great TOS is timeless. Sitting on the Edge of Forever, Doomsday Machine, especially the special editions because they take a lot of a lot of the aged stuff, the stuff that ages that they take it out. You can go on and go on. Spacey, blah blah blah. I mean, they hold up. They're so timeless. So I think Gary kind of helped do that for us. I spoke to Jeffrey Combs. I wanted him to play Moreau, the mentor to Karn, the last Thought Admiral. I had lunch with him at Vitello's in there in Valley Village, and I loved him. He was such a gentleman. He just didn't want to play a Klingon, and that's the role I wanted him for. So yeah. But he's such a great actor, right? He's so awesome. Yeah, we love JG. He's always such a gentleman on set. And I've heard about it in attempts to create a real life USS Enterprise. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. No, it actually wouldn't, because remember, Kirk was a new fledged cadet on the Axanar Peace mission. So there you go. But he's not in the next two episodes. Let's just say that. Yeah, listen. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that there's an issue with Strange New Worlds and Disco and this is why they shouldn't have been a prequel. They should have just moved it into the future. They should have just moved it ahead. Because it doesn't. I mean, Strange New World. I love Strange New Worlds. There's a lot I love about Strange New Worlds. But the sets aren't one of them. Specifically the bridge, just and the sick bay too. So, but anyway, there you go. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Pentagon. I've never been to Pentagon. I've heard good things. Yeah, I know. I think part of it was he had he had an image of what a Klingon should be, and it didn't leave a lot of room for nuance, I felt. And that's not a knock on Jeffrey. I just think Jeffrey's a brilliant, brilliant actor, and I think he could have been brilliant. Now, I will say that the role of Moreau, that the guy that we got for Moreau, and he's spectacular. And he just freaking nailed it. Like the first time we saw the rough cuts, Crystal and I were in bed together watching it and we just started laughing. We were like, "Oh fuck, he's so good," So there you go. JG was Jens Knudsen is saying JC, Jeffrey Combs. So there you go. So there you go. Okay, well, listen, I still haven't eaten dinner yet. So And I don't know where I'm going to go in Midtown, although I could go to Vortex for a burger because that place is pretty damn good. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So I may just take a long walk. It's still warm enough. But anyway, there you go. So listen, thanks for joining me on this Friday night for a little watch party. I'm going to try and start doing more Friday night Axanar Confidentials. I know we've got another podcast due to come out. So no, Tim, I've never made it down to New Zealand, and I want to really bad. My friend Jeff Scott is from down there, and yeah, I've never made it to Australia or New Zealand. So we really want to do the big conventions down there, Supernova and Armageddon. And I never know which one's in which. One country has Armageddon, the other has Supernova. I know that. I don't know which country is which, but we want to go to both of them. And I think the release of Axanar will be, I think it'll be pretty damn good. I think it'll be something that we can travel around the world with. Yes, I'd love to. Believe me, we would love to. Armageddon is New Zealand. Okay, there you go. And so the other one is Supernova is Australia. But I've never I've never been. I haven't been to Africa either, so I can't say I've been to every continent. But in all my travels, I've never been to Down Under, and I want to. I also want to go to Hong Kong. But yeah, I've been to Shanghai, and I've been to Beijing, and I've been all over Japan, but I haven't been to Hong Kong. I want to go there, and the thing with New Zealand and Australia, because the trip is such a bear, I want to spend like 2 weeks traveling, you know? So that's kind of what we want to do. Yeah, I know it's a long flight. Yeah, and Tim, we would love it. If you have any connections with Armageddon, let me know. But that's very cool. Before we go, any chance getting a ship named United States in honor of the ocean line? That's good. You know, actually, Star Trek was pretty good about avoiding a lot of political stuff, and I think naming a ship the United States would, they don't. I wouldn't do it for that reason. Great ship, but yeah, it doesn't fit into the Axanar naming schemes. So there you go. Yeah, did Pensacon just happen? Is that what it is? Yeah, yeah. Well, yes. Oh, believe me. Hey, yeah. And for those of you in other countries, just know that we appreciate you, even if our knucklehead president doesn't. We appreciate you, and remember that all the countries that supported us after 9/11. So thank you, and to my good Canadian brothers and sisters, I support you. Honestly, I do wish we were one country. I do wish that all 11 of your provinces were states, because then then Trump never would have been. He doesn't realize he never would have been elected. But there you go. I love my Canadian brothers and sisters. I just love Canada so much. Too bad your weather sucks. Or let me just say it's cold. I do love Vancouver. I could live in Vancouver and deal with all the rain. I love that city. God, I love that city. It's so awesome. But anyway, I'm just rambling. Let me go eat. I think I'm going to go to the Vortex for a burger. Best burgers in Atlanta. That's it, my friends. Thank you so much for coming. Please go and check out the Axanar store. Remember, use the promo code UPDATE, all capital letters, for 25% off. Check out the Aries, the little wood Aries model. I've got 2 on my desk, and if there's anything else you need, you just let me know. We'll do this again next month. Okay. Yes, sorry about the SS United States. It's a shame that they're going to. It's a shame they never raised the money to restore her like the Queen Mary. Yeah. Oh, the varsity. Not a fan. Not a fan of the varsity. Yeah, just kind of mediocre. Kind of like Whataburger. Oh, I know Paul loves Whataburger. I'm not a fan of that either. So Paul, you like the greasy burgers. I don't. I don't. I miss I miss In-N-Out. I miss In-N-Out. Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of varsity fans here. Okay, everyone, listen. I want to thank you guys so much. We appreciate it, and we hope that you guys be safe, be careful out there, and I certainly look forward to seeing you guys all this summer at a showing of Axanar, wherever that may be. All right, all right. Take care, my friends. Cheers.